my brother dropped off this rather large chisel and a piece of what looked like a broomstick, and asked me to make him a handle. Sure, no problem. I can do that, I replied. I started by drilling a stepped hole for the tapered shank on my vintage Karger bench lathe. When the hole was drilled, I searched for some copper bits I could use to smarten up the handle. I decided to use a piece of copper tubing as a ferrule and a big nut for on the back of the handle. That should help to keep the wood together when hit with a hammer. And then it was time to move to my Ramator wood lathe and select some tools. After some scraping, it was time to glue on the copper parts I had chosen. I had to use some transparent glue because I scraped off more wood than needed. Luckily, the glue did not stain the wood. When the glue had dried, it was time to join the chisel and handle together. The chisel was placed on a scrap of wood in the bench vise, and then it was hammer time. Unfortunately, I made the stepped drilled hole too small, and I had to redo the project. The copper parts were salvaged from the failed handle, and I got a new stick of wood. I think this was even thinner than the first piece. So I decided to drill the hole deeper and wider for this second attempt. Then it was time for some more scraping, and I had to glue on the copper bits again. At the same time, I also put some linseed oil on the wood. After drying, I tried to remount the stepped drilled hole a bit by twisting the chisel shank inside the hole, because to be honest, I was afraid it would split for a second time. Next, I wrapped the handle in some masking tape to protect it from the polyester resin I was going to use to glue in the shank of the chisel. I placed the handle in a machinist vise on the floor and mixed up some resin that I poured into the hole. I inserted the chisel shank, and then it was hammer time again. Of course, I protected the business end with a scrap of wood. When the resin was hard, it was time to unwrap the mummified handle. And I was glad to find out the wood hadn't split up for a second time. I had to remove some residue from the masking tape and put on some more linseed oil, but I think the result looks pretty, decent, and my brother will like it. By the way, some links to longer non-voiceover videos of this project should now be on screen. Check them out if you got some time to kill.